When Christopher Columbus first arrived in the Bahamas, he was so struck by the numbers of Bahama parrots he encountered that he wrote in his log, "Flocks of parrots darken the sun." Sadly, this is not the case today. Once found throughout the Bahamian archipelago, the parrot now resides only on the northernmost island of Abaco and the southernmost island of Inagua.
We have those two breeding populations here in the Bahamas. We have the northern breeding population in Abaco, and then we have that the breeding population in Inagua.
In Inagua, they nest in the trees, which is normal. Then you come to Abaco, and they nest in the ground. It's just like, oh, okay. And you know, it's one thing to read about it and to hear persons talk about it, and it's another thing to actually go into the park and see the parrots nesting in the ground. As they lost their habitat, that was the next best thing. Because if they can't find appropriate trees to nest in, then they'll go to the ground. So I'd like to ask some parrots, you know, because that's not the best spot to be nesting in.
So that in itself is a challenge. And we're going to be working with Caroline Stahala, who's very interested in working on putting forward some conservation ideas as to how are we going to deal with this.
We are concerned because nests are being predated, the chicks are being eaten, as well as adults being killed inside the nests by predators such as cats and raccoons. And that's actually quite a large concern right now, because if we start losing breeders as well as the young of the population, then we'll see a decline in this population as well. And it's something we're trying to ameliorate right now by removing some of the predators out of the park.
In recognition of the fragility of the Abaco population of parrot, the Abaco National Park was created in 1994.
We wanted to make sure that we protected their nest areas as well as foraging areas, to make sure that this population of the parrot didn't fall by the wayside. And here come the parrots.
Stahala spends many weeks each year documenting the parrots' population numbers, as well as their eating and nesting habits.
When we're out here, we look for signs of the birds having a nest cavity or breeding. So we're looking for either the male sentinel or both of the birds sort of scouting out an area, being territorial to an area, and using those behaviors, we then find the nests. And, well, what do we do with the nests? Well, we monitor them. We want to see how successful they are. If they're not successful, why not?
We now know, because of the research done by Frank Rivera, that the population in Inagua is way healthier. We've probably got between 3,000 and 5,000 birds in Abaco, and we probably have 18,000, 20,000 birds in Inagua. Very good, healthy population down there. Very widespread, though. Very difficult to have a place to protect them because they are all over the place.
They're very partner specific because we tend to think that you see birds flying all over, but we don't really tend to look at them as social animals sometimes, and that they actually partner up.
The parrots on Inagua, they don't have as many predators or as many threats to them as here on Abaco, primarily because of the nest sites. On Inagua, they nest a little bit higher, so they're a bit more protected than here on Abaco. Also, there isn't the development pressure that Abaco is starting to see, so you're not getting all the influences of habitat fragmentation, loss of foraging areas, and introduction of more and more predators into the area.
So we may have to work with developers to leave some coppice area, change the way the land is cleared surrounding the park, be more environmentally sensitive, have some, borders around the park that stay very forested. Yes, we've protected the breeding area, but more importantly, we need to protect some more foraging area for the parrots. So it's not going to do them any good to have a place to breed and then not have any place to eat.
We did find 2 limestone cavities on Great Inagua, so we know that they're capable of nesting in other sites as well. So what we want to find out now is if Abaco parrots are also capable of nesting up in trees. The Bahama parrot probably disappeared from the rest of the Bahamas because of agricultural development, as well as them being considered crop pests at times. As you may know, they feed on anything that's fruiting or flowering.
We've done some genetic studies, and we don't have all of the work that's come in, but we probably have 2 distinct genetic populations as well.
Since there are only 2 populations of the Bahama parrot left, it's really important to protect what we have left. The Bahama parrot is definitely one of the most unique and most charismatic species that I've ever been involved with. There they go.